Is there anything we can? I mean, we can look on the challenge list right now and get a sense of. I should be clear. Once we're done doing this giveaway, we've done some challenges and whatnot. When we pivot to our next challenge, I think we'll probably do our brick exploding during that period of time.
Okay.
Yeah, earlier brick explosion.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at one of the challenges. Beach, if you got food, you got to go get. Is to take some self-care time. Do we want to just briefly take a little self-care break right now?
That sounds good. Yeah.
Get our
I'm going to
snacks
come
and
back
food,
and
yeah.
I'm going to mukbang it up. I will eat on stream, but I will be nice about it. So.
Okay, well, I'm going to mark that challenge as accepted. Carrie, would you like to take a break from driving so you can also do some self-care?
I'm mostly okay.
Okay.
So
Let us know if you need anything.
okay.
Yeah.
Everybody. Yeah. What radio station we should put it to?
You gotta.
Oh, no, the radio's haunted. I forgot.
Yeah.
It's haunted.
Radio's haunted. Calls coming from inside the bus.
All right. Get chat to take a break if they need it too. So
Okay, chat. Everybody, you know what to do. Break.
Rotate the fluids.
Rotate your fluids.
All right.
Time to rotate the body.
In however way you want to do that.
When I put this piece of nori into the box,
Oh,
it was
Ooh.
definitely crisp.
That's some flaccid nori.
I
is
don't
what
know
got
why
there.
you separated. Okay, you don't.
I forgot to put it into my ramen. We had ramen tonight.
I'm not gonna judge.
hmm
Just gonna sew.
So the place we ordered ramen from had as an appetizer they had char siu bao. So that's what we're.
That's wow. Neat.
oh,
I thought that was more
lovely.
like bun.
Yeah, I think this is kind of like one of those takes on it where it's like we'll make a flat thing, and then
Yeah.
we'll and
Okay,
just fold it
okay,
around.
okay.
But the ramen was on point. Like it was really good.
it's probably what your DoorDash driver last night said too.
Our DoorDash driver might have liked the ramen tonight. I have a feeling because
Oh,
we didn't get it the first time.
that ramen. That was the one I was trying to reference.
Yeah.
I just.
Well, whenever
It's
you talk
okay.
about something someone
Time
said last,
shift happens and
yeah,
The first night. Sorry, go ahead, Molly.
just whenever you mention something someone said last night, my brain goes like, "Hey-oh," but no, somebody probably actually
Right.
doesn't matter. Not what your DoorDash driver said. Hey-oh.
Right. We the first night I said to Heather, I'm like, well, what should we order tonight to kind of like get rolling on this on the whole desert bus thing? And we had a look and I'm like, you know what we should get at home is we should order a sushi boat.
yeah,
Just two of us.
we ordered a platter.
yourself.
Because he was like, if
It was heavy.
it was the first night. Desert Bus hadn't even started yet, so it was just like, okay, well, if anything bad happens, we're not on for like 24 hours. So let's
do
just
sushi.
let's just rotate the board and choose sushi
Mm-hmm.
from a place we've never had it before. It'll probably be okay.
And it was okay.
Oh yeah, it's quite good.
They did serve a thing called monkey brain.
Yeah, that was an
Okay.
unpeeling name for it.
Yeah.
It's just a deep fried roll thing.
Yeah. It was like with like
It was not actual monkey brain.
big chunks of avocado and like they basically cut an avocado into like like half an avocado chopped into like thirds of that, so I guess into sixth. So you have a chunk of that, a big piece of like a big lump of crab, and then rice that kind of surrounds it a bit, but then it's all breaded and deep fried. And
Wow.
I think it was deep fried, and then they like put carrot straws and other stuff and a sweet sauce on top of it, and it was tasty as hell. But it's also weird to just have like giant lump of avocados, like basically a deconstructed California roll, kind of try to put back together. But they also did deep fried California rolls, and I was like, why did they make this thing?
We got these we got inari sushi, which is just like a bag of rice pocket soy skin thing. and they were like, and in top of the pocket we put fish and extra things, and I'm like, this is very fancy.
Yeah, I've had a issue before where it's just somebody has made the pocket out of the deep fried tofu, and then you saturate it in like sweetened soy sauce, and then you pack your rice inside of it, and you make like a pocket. This thing kind of goes all around the outside of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. This was like we folded it up very specially, and we put some other stuff. And we did these things and did whatever. And it's like, okay, this is $7 for like 2 of these, and and take one out, and it's like, oh man, this is a lot. Like they did a lot to this thing to kind of like to pretty it up, and I'm like, it was really tasty, but I don't know if I'd order it again because it was like just a little outside what I thought it was going to be. So, yeah, this is good though.
Yeah, we get a little fancy around. Since we can't order during our shift, we try to order fancy before our shift.
There we go. Nailed it.
Hey, yeah.
Heck
That's
yeah.
what I meant to do originally.
Yeah, nice. I like it.
Mm-hmm. It's a wig, but also it's me. It's the best of both worlds.
Did you ever do that and then put a hat on and trying to convince people you cut your hair?
Yeah, a beanie usually.
Yeah.
Just what gender am I? You don't know anymore.
Time to take a stab in the dark.
Turns out I'm no gender.
The last time I had long hair, I did get once I was in grade 8 and did not have any sort of beard or anything else, but somebody did think that I was a woman when they saw it, because they only saw it from behind and they saw it like at a distance or whatever.
The longer hair thing, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I guess I have to cut my hair because
They
I am
used
not
to,
comfortable with being misgendered.
When we were younger, that used to be for a few of the boys I knew in class. Occasionally around Halloween time, there was like I dressed up as a girl and look at me, and it's a costume. And then a couple of days later, you're like, that's going to affect you completely differently in a couple of years.
Yeah,
and that'll be good for you.
Yeah. We were telling uplifting Bible camp and church stories yesterday. And actually my first sort of meaningful gender play experience was at a church dance.
Oh.
It was Halloween, and it was like this middle school fellowship thing, like the sort of paving stones on the path to confirmation in the Catholic sort of program. And so that involved, eventually I was like, I did some math and went, oh, I'm old enough that I can just do the adult program when I'm a senior. I'm gonna do that. But up until that point, I went to 2 of these tween dances. And there was sort of a format to them. Father would come out and say a few words about, going back to school, or, how we can apply the scripture to your teenage lives. And then there was either a game or like a dance party. And so the September one was mad boring. And then the October one was Halloween. But I was like 13, so I didn't have a costume. And my dad was like, well, let's go buy you a gorilla suit then. So
that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, A+ dad move.
I love that suggestion.
So we went to a vintage shop, got one of those gorilla suits in a bag. And I didn't know how to put my hair in a bun or anything. I just didn't know what to do with it. And so I just kind of wrapped it around itself and pressed it into the back of the gorilla mask and was like, let's go learn about the Lord, I guess. And so I went with my friend Amy. She had made up she's now a professional cosplayer or semi-professional, go figure, but she had made up a whole character for herself with like zebras and stuff. And then I'm just this gorilla. And then during the opening prayer, I can't hear because it's just a bag of fur with a face on it.
Oh, yeah.
But while Father's giving the opening lecture, I can hear a voice at the side of my head. And I turn, and I'm in 6th grade at the time, and it's an 8th grade girl kind of like making eyebrows at me. And I was like, oh, what a hilarious misunderstanding. Okay. So I just kind of faced back to the Father. And then for the rest of like the dance portion, there were dances and games and snacks and things. The 8th grade girls were like yelling, "Hi, Ape Man," from across the gymnasium and stuff. They were shooting daggers at Amy because they thought she was my date.
Oh no.
And I went, oh, hilarious. What's happening? Oh my goodness. And about an hour into this, because we're indoors and I'm in a synthetic fur suit, I go outside to air myself out, and 3 7th grade boys corner me. And they're
oh no.
they were
you
like,
were the hot one.
I was the hot one, and they were like, "Who is the new boy?"
Oh no. Oh no.
They were like, "Okay, who are you?" And I was like using the ape mask to my advantage at that point. I was like, and they went, "Okay, you're Renata's son. Mm-mm. You're Audra's son. Mm-mm. You CJ's kid. What?" Mm-mm. And remember how I couldn't tie my hair up and it was just pressed into my mask.
Mhm.
So I took the mask off and my hair went whoosh onto my shoulders.
Like in a movie.
Like in the movie,
Oh my
like slow
gosh.
motion, like and these boys jumped about 3 feet into the air. And my hair was about this length, and I couldn't. It was sticking out the back of the mask for the rest of the night. So I was a gorilla with a mullet going forward, and my secret was out.
I'm sorry. You've just described the scenario where like a bunch of 8th grade girls fell for you in an ape suit, but you taking off the head and shaking your hair out is exactly what I would be like. Oh no, I'm learning things about myself.
I'm confused about my gender now too.
That would have been me, and as a middle school kid, I would have been in the corner being like, "Oh dear."
I felt very empowered.
I've always had very short hair, and I say that as if I have short hair now because I constantly forget this hair is as long as it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So from a distance, I had girls catcall me all the time.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
As a younger, because they're like, "Oh, this is a dude." I wasn't really into the whole like, "Oh, they're into me," but I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I'm okay with this."
I'm not against it.
At least, they're being nice. They're appreciative.
Yeah, it was better than getting bullied by girls.
Mm-hmm.
Girls are mean.
Yeah.
I am cis and have always looked cis and haven't really been misgendered. I was once mistaken for a wig, though.
You as a person? All right.
I had decided,
Like someone tried to snatch your hair off your head?
Uh-huh.
Like, oh my
Oh,
god.
I'll just grab this from this mannequin here.
I had decided to take a nap in high school. So I was in a very small high school, and a bunch of kids had their book bags just sitting outside the lockers for lunchtime. So I had like curled up against the pile of book bags and like sort of just hunkered down to fall asleep.
Yeah.
And my history teacher walked by and thought that she saw a wig sitting on a pile of book bags and reached down and grabbed it and then was like, "Oh, Carrie,
no.
I'm so sorry."
Oh no!
I can't imagine how startled you'd be to be like, "Oh, it's a wig," and like, ah! A wig scream.
Oh my god, it's a purse.
It was great.
Welcome, Raiders. Nice to see you.
Hello.
Yeah.
But I have so many moments from like middle school and high school that are like looking back on it. Oh, I really wasn't straight, was I? Huh.
Ah,
Yeah. I just had a very focused interest in that girl. It's not a big deal.
Me and that girl just really liked how it felt to kiss each other's necks at that one party. And we totally, it was not anything sexual. We were never into each other.
Yeah.
But like at the
Just
same
really good
time.
friends.
I
We're
just really
kissing
thought
each
we'd
other
be
like friends do.
I just thought we'd be really good friends and I wanted to meet her parents. It's no big deal.
they were roommates.
So
God.
weird. So weird looking back on it and being like, yeah, I see. Yes. Okay. Yes.
I did definitely carry around a lot of I definitely internalized all the, if this is what a girl does, then this is not what I do, kind of
Yeah.
thing. And so the idea of makeup, verboten, right? That's
Oh,
not
okay,
gonna be
yeah,
a thing,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Which meant that as a 5-year-old who was very much, and again, very much in like, boys do this and girls do this, and that's how it is. And then also Ukrainian dancing and having to go
Yeah.
on stage and then being like, okay, so we have to put makeup in your face, and be like,
Nope.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we have to, or you're just gonna disappear. And it's like, that doesn't make
Yeah.
a lick of sense. They're like, it's just a little bit of blush to kind of bring that out more, and then a little bit of like darker lipstick to just actually, not like bright red or whatever.
Yeah.
But it is kind of brighter than you expect it to be. So just so they can see your face because of the lights and everything else. And it's like, it's like, well, and then they tell you, it's like, well, we're going to film it. And that doesn't help.
No.
But then you realize when you watch it later that you're like, okay, I kind of get what they mean when they say that, because you're on a TV camera and they're filming this, like, oh, I see. Like, I don't look like I'm wearing makeup at all. It's just,
I look like a raisin from a green grape. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I had similar thoughts as a kid. Video games were for boys, and therefore I was going to be a boy.
Amen. Yeah.
Because not because I particularly cared about being one or having a dingle dongle or anything. I was like, no, I want to play video games, and if I have to be a boy to do so, then now I am a boy. The end.
Yeah, like full blown Mulan style. Like, I will join the army.
Exactly.
Can't stop me.
Yeah. I had to really get out of a lot of that thing with, like, I mean, it has definitely helped that seeing so many more people play with the stereotypes,
wear makeup
and break the norms, right? To basically be like, hey,
I mean, I found it really difficult later to want to try and do what was stereotypically a girly thing. Then, because once you start getting into the I always wear pants, and sure, my nails are long, but I'll never wear the nail polish, and I'll never do my hair, or I'll never wear makeup. You become one of the guys or whatever, and then it's like the moment you wear a skirt, everyone's like, "Oh, you're wearing a skirt? That's real weird." And you're like, "Yeah, I'm sorry." You like apologize and you walk away for it.
I mean, I think that goes beyond like gender expression strictly and into some stuff about like body image and how you're perceived, because I tend to be sort of like that, where I'll do one thing, and if anyone notices that something has changed, that's bad. Oh, I changed something and you noticed? Oh no, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
I'll go change
getting
it back.
any kind of like attention all of a sudden is like, I'm just gonna melt into a puddle of goo now. Excuse me.
Right. Like, I didn't get it because I presented female, but I did get it just anytime anyone happened to notice me. I'm like, no, please don't. Please don't.
Yeah, I'm sorry I wore a skirt. It won't happen again.
We've had that happen here where it's like, you know, you go on stream and you're wearing something and somebody will say, oh man, or not somebody, all of chat notices. And if you're the kind of person who's like, I bought a new shirt, you know, and you don't, and everyone's like, that's an awesome looking shirt, you look great, or why are you dressed up, or like whatever, you have a job interview, like those kind of things happen. But it's like, if you're not used to getting that kind of attention, then you're like, I wore a new shirt because I wanted to wear a new shirt today, and then everyone notices. You're like, I don't want to be seen.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, because sometimes you're a person who's just like, I don't want anyone to notice that I've changed anything, and I want them to treat me normally. And other people are like, oh man, nobody acknowledged the cool new shirt I was wearing. Right? Like, it's such a toss up of which one are you?
And
what are you in?
I'm even
which
going
situations are you which? Because that changes too. Like, if I do something drastic to my appearance and my husband doesn't notice, that's more like, I do have 4-inch hair now. Could you say something? But like, not that I have ever. Oh boy, that would be weird. But
yeah, and you know, there's certain people you want to talk to. You don't want the. Was it like some rando sometimes in the street will be like, hey, did you know you're wearing all blue? And I'm just like, yes, I am conscious.
Oh God, there's someone stole my red shirt.
Thank you.
I would think it'd be even weirder. I thought you were gonna be like, you know, some rando in the street that you've never before, be like, hey, you got a haircut, and be like, Jesus, that's unsettling.
That would be really unsettling. But generally, it's just like, it's like, oh, did you know that you're wearing like this? And I'm like, yes, and actually, I didn't dress in the dark today. I made some choices on purpose.
Thank you, middle-aged man. You're right. A turquoise beret would be very cute with this red coat.
With me. Always some 70 years old man in the middle of the street, and as soon as I see them now, I'm like, please don't talk to me.
Just like, cross to the other side.
Smile for me, and it's like, I don't even smile for my husband.
That's the best part about face masks. No one wants me to smile.
So good.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna stop wearing mine, even if we're allowed to. I can make so many faces at people in the street, and no one knows it.
I sing out loud on the street now. I just kind of as I'm walking, because nobody can prove it with me.
Oh yeah. They can't tell where it's come from.
There's a guy in Vancouver who used to do that. He would walk down East Broad, or East Broadway singing opera at the top of his voice. Wow. And it was amazing. I worked at the Staples there, and we would watch him go by every now and then, and it was just like, wow, okay, you do you. I'm very good for it.
The vocal on. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I've discovered that I do like skirts, but most of them don't have pockets, so they're all dead to me. But I've rectified the situation by wearing shorts underneath with pockets, and I like that even better.
Yeah.
Clever.
I mean, yeah, that's my trick with my hakama, is I wear shorts underneath with lots of pockets.
Plus it like stops chafing and like all the other problems. And then if you're like, man, I just don't feel it, you just pull the skirt off and you have shorts.
You feel so vulnerable
like a
if you're not wearing
transformer.
shorts. I think the life hack I got from Kate was the bike shorts that have like a little lace at the bottom, so it looks like a slip.
Ooh,
oh, fancy.
Pretty. Yeah, I like that idea.
She's very smart.
My mom always had a thing about that. She's like, can't have your slip showing. And then they started making skirts that had like a little lace edge on the bottom, and she's like, it looks like their slip's showing.
Yeah, because a slip is kind of like almost considered underwear.
Yeah.
By some people, and it's like, oh no,
negligee.
you're showing your underwear, and everybody should see these secret clothes.
Right.
I didn't like, once I started picking my own clothes, I was like, no more dresses. And so I didn't really grok what slips were for. And then once I kind of figured it out, it was like, not only do I have to wear a dress, I have to wear a dress under my dress.
This is so that your dress doesn't stick to your legs, and people don't then know that you aren't magically like
what if
able to
people
keep
find
it away.
out I have a butt? Wouldn't that be awful?
Right.
Yeah.
They thought you had a Little Mermaid tail, and now their whole fantasy is ruined.
I just assumed that if I saw it drawn in an Archie comic, that meant that it was allowed to be worn as clothing. Like, that you're allowed to just see it. Because it's like, if I'm allowed to see it in an Archie comic, then I must be allowed to see it in real life. There must not be anything wrong with showing it because they can see it.
Yeah.
You know? And I mean, that changes over the years, right? You read a story from the 50s and a story from the 90s, and they're very different.
Just different attitudes about denim alone.
Yeah.
Never mind the rest of it.
Absolutely.
The thing that always weirded me out about, like, don't let your slips show, don't let your bra straps show, was that then ladies, at least my mom's age, would wear these very thin white blouses to the office that were like basically see-through. And I'm like, do you not get this? What are you saying to me? What?
When you learn that the rules that you've been taught are not necessarily like actual rules that everyone in the world follows,
you just have to go to another town and
confusing.
people. Yeah. When I first visited the Northwest with my dad, we were looking at universities, and we went to Tacoma, we went to Seattle, and then when we got back, he said, "Classic dad move." I think it was a joke. It might have been a diss. But he was like, oh, Kathy, she's going to love it up there. The women don't wear makeup or shave their legs. And I was like, actually, that's a great point. It's absolutely true.
You're just selling me on this? Oh, my goodness.
Now that you say that, I'm getting out of here faster.
I had a friend who was very, very girly and into cosplay. And she was like, oh, yeah, I mean, even if your arms aren't like very hairy, you wanna shave them because in the photos you're gonna be able to tell that your arms are so much smoother. And I'm like, that seems like so much work.
But then you have arm stubble.
Yeah. But also just that's a lot of work. Like shaving legs is a lot of work. But now I gotta shave my arms too.
Yeah.
It's a different prospect when you got dark hair, because then you get them strawberry limbs, which nobody wants. And I'm quite proud of my leg hair. I've cultivated a fine garden in lockdown, and I'm never going back. I'm probably going back, but I'm getting away.
I mean, I don't think it's that noticeable.
I mean
it is if I look at it long enough. But...
I mean, can you even see mine on camera? I mean, is the question.
I mean, a little bit up
I
here.
can't.
So why? I mean, just because I was kind of like, this would it even matter if anyone can see my leg here on stream? Because if we were just spending all our time on stream, then
it's
what's it matter?
tantamount to showing feet. Your legs are right next to your feet. Yeah.
I guess that's true, right?
Yeah, the feet adjacent.
Oh no.
Yeah. Show feet. No, I won't, but I will show leg.
I'll show a little leg. Just a little leg as a treat.
I got boots on, but yeah.
Boots are sexy.
I'm not actually wearing. I mean, I am wearing pants. I'm wearing because you can call them pants. Why? Because that's what they are. They have.
Look, they're called pajama
they have
pants.
two shafts of fabric.
but
Yeah.
the pants
Yeah.
is still in
Yeah.
the title, my dude.
So you want to talk about things that you get hung up on? Is that I have a very big problem with designer brands.
Go on.
Drives me up the friggin' wall. Which is hard because like in junior high school, I was very much like I have to find the brands. Find the
yeah.
brands. If I don't wear the
I was
brands,
so weirded out when I found out
Everyone's-
he was into brands.
everyone's going to
Once-
think that I'm not cool. And
Oh.
I know I'm not cool, but I need to hide this. And the only way to do it is to wear the brands. And the thing is that works because then people have to find something else to give a crap about you that they have to be mad about to you. And so if you're wearing the brands, they don't have an easy thing to go to. They have to think about it. And by that time you're gone. So that's easy.
Yeah.
And so these have tiny little Tommy Hilfiger. That's what little dots are, just little Tommy Hilfiger logos.
Presently,
You
that
know?
you're wearing?
Yeah, the ones that I'm wearing right now. And
So we
and I'm
know
like,
you're cruel. Like
I-
you wanted to make sure that we knew.
yeah, that's why I showed them off. Exactly,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And
He's powered by brand. It's
I didn't
kinda
wanna
filters
wear
up into
these.
his torso.
because my I got these as a gift for Christmas for my mother, and I was like, nice that I have new, hey, thanks. These have pockets. Like I have to
Oh
say.
yeah, you know
Okay.
what? Women's
That's all
women's
you
pajama
need.
pants without pockets are a crime and need to be
Yeah.
burned.
hmm
Yeah.
But these things, I was just like, I don't want to wear these because they have a thing on them.
Are all the gifts of me
Mhm.
gonna be touching your body in a weird way? Like I like the last one I saw of me and you was like doing the finger
You're-
thing.
They
You're
can
there for
be if you
scale.
want.
No.
Yeah.
Anyways,
There's a difference between pajama pants and lounge pants, though. I want my lounge pants to have pockets, but the
Yeah.
pants I actually sleep in, I don't want any chance that I will roll over onto my phone. Like, I need
fair,
that away
okay,
from my body.
okay.
How
I
do
was
you-
the
how would-
opposite kind of child. I
Okay.
tried to avoid I mean, it's very basic as I think about it, as I put the sentence together in my head. But like my sort of fashion aspiration was like the kids who are the lab assistants on Bill Nye, because they were just wearing oversized plain shirts and pants, and there were no brands anywhere about them. And I was like, where do they shop? I didn't know you could have clothes without brands on them.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would get my clothes. Like, as a kid, we always went to like Zellers, and so like the brands there were like Cherokee and
Lee.
like
Yeah,
whatever,
LL
which I
Bean
guess
sort of
were not
thing. Yeah.
popular amongst. I don't know. I didn't pay any attention. I never paid attention to the brands thing. I didn't care. I just wanted to play video games, and everyone else was like clothes, and I'm like, they cover my body, great.
Mhm. Yeah.
And then I start dating this dude.
Oh my God.
And
Yeah.
and he
Oh, you
opens
did?
up his
Oh, man.
closet and he's got like 13 pairs of jeans that are all Levi's, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of, I mean, I've never seen you wear jeans, so this is a little weird. And he starts describing the little colored tag and why it was important, and I was just like,
Mhm.
this is weird. I've never heard a person talk about this before. And so then I phoned my mom. I'm just like having a phone conversation with her one day, and I'm like, I've never seen anyone do this. And this thing about like the color of the tag being red and how it's important and so tiny. And she was just like, oh yeah, no, the red tag ones are the ones you really want, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, who are you? You never passed this knowledge upon me. We never went to the store and was like, oh, we better get the brand name things for the, who are you?
Mhm.
I'm
So,
glad
like-
that she at least agreed with Beej's, take of the situation and not like, oh, the man's a fool. You got to get the black tags. Like,
I mean, that was when I was in grade 7, or grade 8. Somebody came back from the summer, grade 7. Somebody came back from like a holiday or whatever, maybe over the winter or whatever. When they came back and they had black tabs, we didn't have black tabs in Canada. We didn't have silver tabs. All we had was red tabs. And if you went to Kmart, you can get orange tabs.
Were there purple tabs?
Eventually, I think purple tab was a thing because Levi's kind of experimented with doing a bunch of different
It was Zeta tabs.
types of things. But the thing is that orange tabs were the 600 series, and those are work pants and they're cheap, right? But which is
Yeah.
stupid because orange tabs are really comfortable and they're not made of like the coolest color of denim, but they
Yeah.
last forever. They're the best work pant I think that Levi's makes. But red tabs are the fashion pants.
Yep.
Those are your 501s or 500 series. Anything that's 501, 505, 515, 512, 515, 525, 535, like that kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? Like, so I had red tabs because that's what you're supposed to wear if you didn't want people to make fun of you. If you were wearing Levi's and they had orange tabs, people could see that. They could see you walking away and see the orange tab hanging off that back pocket, and they would know that, I guess, you were
Wait,
poor
the
or
tabs
you
are in the
weren't
back
cool.
pocket?
They were
Could you
looking at
take
your
like a
butt.
Sharpie and doctor it? Could you?
You could color
Like,
it
oh, these
black.
Color it in.
Except
yeah.
that the Levi's stitching, the name of the brand is
geez.
in white.
Do the orange ones have like the act? Does Levi still make pants with the actual rivets to secure the pockets like they
Yeah.
did?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's still their thing. That's like riveted at every stress point. But this
Mhm.
was a thing that was what you were supposed to wear. And then at some point in grade 8, I think it was grade 8, it was like, no, nobody is wearing Levi's anymore. You have to wear Gucci if you can find it, or Guess.
Calvin Klein. Yeah.
Guess is more big. Calvin Klein is the way to go. But then Buffalo jeans, Buffalo. Buffalo was a thing. Bugle Boy was a thing. Request was a thing. You had to wear those, and because those I had a pair that had the word Buffalo written right across the side of the leg
Oh
like that,
my
and it was
gosh.
embroidered. And they had like stitched all sorts of like stitched stuff all over the back of the pockets
Yep.
and stuff too.
I remember
Wow.
that time. That was a dark time.
Yeah, Bugle Boys were especially like that, and it's like,
Oh.
and they were fashion pants, which means they sucked because after about a year they started to wear really heavily, and after
They're
a
not-
few years they were
yeah.
unwearable.
They're made for a good time, not a long time. How
Yeah.
old were you when Ed Hardy hit? Did Ed Hardy hit in Canada?
Not really,
Thank
but I was
God
probably about
bless.
17, I think, when that was happening, and I was just leaving high school anyway. But
The
it
prime
didn't really
market.
hit here.
Yeah.
Man. And all
That was
I
a dark
wanted out
time.
of my jeans was for them not to have like a gap at the back.
The butt gap.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, that was all I wanted was like a pair of jeans that would fit my
Oh,
body.
I just
And Levi made some like
Mhm.
several years ago, and then they canceled them.
no,
Mhm.
it's the worst when you can't find the pants you like wearing.
Yep.
Do you
Yeah.
mean like a gap where the waist goes around?
Right at the sort of
Yeah.
the tramp stapital region back there.
Okay.
Yeah, like there's just it doesn't the way
It
they're
doesn't lay
made,
flat.
like,
It kind of
yeah.
comes out a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
If your waist and your hips aren't the same ratio that that Levi thinks they should be, or that
Yeah.
any
Mhm.
pants manufacturer thinks they should be, then
Yeah.
you're liable to land somewhere.
Right.
in
If
that.
the ratio is not at that 10% or 5% of people in the world,
Yeah.
then your pants are never going to fit you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I bought like a stack of like 8 pairs of jeans at Old Navy because they fit me in the dressing room, and I was like, "Oh, Jesus does love me." Okay. But,
I
like,
have 2
because they
pair
were
of
Old Navy. Yeah, they split immediately. Just the denim dried out.
Ugh.
So I was glad I bought
No.
8. Just
That's good.
Just busting.
I
through
have
like
2
Hulk.
pair of identical khakis that I wear. I have them here on the floor right now. I bought them both at the same time because I'm like, I found one that fits perfectly. I'll buy a second pair because they're on sale too.
If you find one pair, that's good. You buy more.
I couldn't find any different colors, so now I have 2 that are just like that wheat color. You know, it's like
They're
this
Oh,
is what I
right.
have.
Sorry, I keep forgetting you like wearing pants in different colors.
I want to wear black ones. I want to have a pair of black ones that are the exact same,
Yeah.
but I couldn't
I
find
just
any.
I just
so.
like having jeans. For like I enjoyed jeans, and then I had nothing but black dress pants for the longest time because everywhere I worked, that was kind of like the dress code,
Mhm.
and so I really had no reason for jeans,
Yeah,
and so I didn't have jeans for a while. And like, nah, jeans are great.
men. I gotta say though, because it's a thing that's happening now, and we didn't have this before, but it's happening now. They're mixing lycra into our pant fabric. I swear, go get you some pants that aren't goddamn stovepipes all the way down to that just aren't like a big wide
yeah.
leg.
Treat yourself to a taper.
If you watch me in Road Quest and see me walking along in those pants, it's like, God, they are actually a little big on his leg, aren't they? But you look at what I've been wearing recently, and it's like, actually, that seems to fit him a little bit better. I swear to you, get yourself some lycra pants, get you some ones that stick to your legs just a little bit better. And if they have lycra in them, now then you can do like the deep knee bed and get under somebody's desk and fix their computer.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
do it. It's so
but
worth
I
it.
agree
Oh,
for the
yeah.
tapered, but I prefer a boot cut, or like I would absolutely go for like
Oh my-
the bell bottoms
The
if I could.
flares.
I'd like
Yeah.
flares. Pant flares
Fit
are
your Ugg
great.
boots in them. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I remember flares from middle school. But the problem with the lycra is that it does they're not as long lasting. So if you're looking for those work pants, they're
Yeah.
not going to be as long lasting.
Yeah,
But
if you're doing a lot of work, then yeah, get yourself some cheaper. Oh God, Wranglers were looked down upon when I was the age. I also grew up in Medicine Hat, Alberta, which is cowboy city. Like it is There's
Wait,
ranching. and all
Wranglers
sorts
were looked down upon in a
Yeah.
ranch town?
You did not want to wear Wranglers because that meant that you worked on a farm, right? It was kind of like
Oh, okay.
that kind of thing. So nobody wore
City
Wranglers.
kids.
How dare you drive the
Until-
local economy?
Yeah, until it was cool all of a sudden to wear Wranglers again, because that meant that you were a cowboy, and it meant that you did ride at a rodeo, and it did mean that you worked on a farm, and it did mean you were manly. And so Wranglers came back into fashion once I had left high school. I was like, okay, I had no idea. I thought they were always trash level jeans we were never supposed to
No.
wear, but apparently not.
No,
So,
but that's the trajectory of fashion is they co-opt from the lower classes and you call it something that they invented. Like
Yeah.
I think there's a script in there's a passage in the Quran about that. Like when we become a truly monstrous people, then the rich will dress in rags.
Oh my
Mm.
goodness. That's really actually kind of
think-
cool.
I may be misquoting that if anyone in chat knows.
I found leggings like 3 years ago and I haven't worn anything jeans
Yeah.
related since. The
Yeah,
downside
leggings
is
have
no
been good.
pockets. The plus side
Yeah.
is like they always fit.
You can get leggings with pockets.
Mhm.
The ones I have don't have pockets because they're
they're harder to
cheap.
find.
Yeah.
But I found a pair the other day, and they're big enough to fit my cell phone, which is even weirder. And I was just like, perfect. These are awesome.
I love the ones I have. They're falling to pieces and I probably should buy new ones, but
I think they're meant to be kind of like a sports workout legging, which is why they have the pockets, because it's like, oh, make sure you can keep your iPod on you and
yeah.
hear your
Yeah.
tunes as you
Hear all
run.
your playlists.
And I'm like, I'm not running in any of these things.
There's something so
Let's be real.
beautifully aspirational about squishy comfort clothing. Like,
Mhm.
for your Pilates session
All the
that you're going to
exercise
teach.
clothing is super comfortable, but it's like they want you to work out in it or
so
something.
don't you have a Peloton you have to be on today? Like it's like, no.
No.
I don't even have a room to put it in. We are 5 minutes away from the end of